The night was electric. In 1856, in the Habsburg Empire, Nikola Tesla was born during a fierce lightning storm. The midwife declared him a child of the storm, but his mother firmly corrected her. No, he will be a child of light. This prophetic declaration would define his entire existence. From childhood, he was obsessed with counting, measuring distances, and mesmerized by the fierce energy of thunder and lightning. His mind was his laboratory. He didn't need blueprints. He simply visualized entire machines, running them perfectly in his head before he ever put pen to paper. A near-fatal bout of cholera at age 17 secured his father's blessing to become an engineer. While studying in Europe, a single moment in a park of spontaneous vision gave him the complete concept for the alternating current, AC rotating magnetic field. He had just stolen the future's power source. Section 2. Betrayal and the War of the Currents, 1 o'clock to 2:30 in 1884. Tesla arrived in New York with a letter of introduction and literally 4 cents. He went to work for Thomas Edison, who promised him a colossal reward of $50,000 if he could improve his inefficient direct current DC generators. Tesla delivered the improvements, transforming Edison's system. But when he demanded his prize, Edison allegedly scoffed, "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." Feeling deeply betrayed, Tesla quit, and the world's most brilliant engineer was reduced to digging ditches for power lines on the streets of Manhattan. Tragic, humbling chapter. Salvation arrived when George Westinghouse bought his patents, initiating the infamous War of the Currents. Edison launched a campaign of terror, publicly electrocuting animals to demonize AC. Tesla's system proved superior, safer, and capable of long-distance transmission. The victory was cemented at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, where Tesla's AC lit up the entire exhibition, and later, by harnessing the raw power of Niagara Falls to illuminate the city of Buffalo. Tesla was now the undisputed monarch of electricity. Section 3. Cosmic Numbers and Secret Obsessions, 2:32, 4 o'clock. Despite his fame, Tesla remained an enigma. He was impeccably dressed and aristocratic, yet he was repulsed by jewelry, terrified of pearls, and deliberately chose a life of celibacy, dedicating all his passion to science. His most peculiar obsession centered on the cosmic principle of the numbers 3, 6, and 9. He performed many actions in threes, circled buildings 3 times before entering, and used napkin and cutlery sets in multiples of 3. For him, this wasn't superstition. It was a key to the universe's fundamental frequencies and vibrations. In his Colorado Springs lab, he pushed the boundaries of physics, generating massive, controlled lightning bolts 20 feet long. He was decades ahead of his time, conducting fundamental research into radio and even talking about remote controls. Yet, all these stunning experiments were merely stepping stones to his magnum opus, a project that would define his legacy and seal his fate. That dream was the Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive, ambitious structure on Long Island. It was designed to be a global broadcast station, not just for messages across the ocean, but to provide the entire world with free, unlimited wireless energy. Tesla's vision was truly utopian, an end to poverty, and power for all. He convinced J.P. Morgan to fund the project. But when Morgan asked how he would charge people for the electricity, and Tesla explained it would be distributed freely as a fundamental right, Morgan immediately pulled his support. This was the financial and emotional death blow. The tower stood unfinished, a ghostly monument to a future that could have been. Morgan had protected the profit model, and in doing so, condemned the world 2 decades more of expensive, wired energy. Tesla was left bankrupt, heartbroken, and increasingly isolated. Section 5. Seclusion, Death, and the Final Mystery, 5:15 to 6 o'clock. Following the Wardenclyffe disaster, Tesla descended into seclusion. The press mocked him, labeling him a mad scientist for his later claims of receiving signals from Mars and inventing weapons like the death ray. He spent his final years living alone in New York hotels, dedicating his deepest affection to the pigeons in Central Park. On January 7, 1943, he died alone in his room. The instant his death was confirmed, the FBI descended and seized his papers, fearing they contained secret weapons, designs, or technology that could destabilize global power. To this day, many of his documents remain classified, fueling the myth that Tesla knew more than the world was ready for. Yet, the evidence of his genius is everywhere, in the AC flowing to your outlet, in every radio signal, and in the very foundation of modern communication. Nikola Tesla was not just an inventor. He was a prophet who built the 21st century inside his own mind.